name's Brian Vaudreuil. Born in Indiana, and I lived in Northbridge for since I was 4. I was stationed in the Berlin Brigade, and actually my unit was deactivated. I was supposed to get orders to come back to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, where 9 of us in my unit was volunteered to go over to Kirschgans, which is the Spearhead Battalion, to make their units 100% to go over to Iraq. We found out just before Christmas, and we had 14 days to deploy from Berlin to go over to Kirschgans. It was tough, but that's why we joined the military. Serve and protect. So it was my job, and that's what we did. I was a corporal when I went over to Iraq. It's the rank in between a specialist and a sergeant. I always kept everything I ever got. Put them in a book and, show the kids as they get older some of the accomplishments I did in the military. Army Achievement Medal. Actually, they were trying to give me an ARCOM for this one, but it was something I was really proud of. Meritorious achievements and performance of his duties as squad leader. While assigned to the Charlie Company 4th Battalion, 502nd Infantry Regiment during the period of the 23 February 1989 through 7 March 1989, tasked with the responsibility of performing as first squad leader, Specialist Vaudreuil took charge of his squad and led him into both the preparation of a platoon defense, and during the platoon movement to contact, Specialist Vaudreuil demonstrated a take-charge attitude and kept his squad's motivation high while effectively accomplishing all assigned missions. Specialist Vaudreuil accomplishments are in keeping with the finest traditions of the military services and reflects great credit upon himself, the Berlin Brigade, and the United States Army. I was a specialist. My squad leader at the time and both team leaders were both not within the platoon. So as a specialist, I ended up being the squad leader. And I was charged with doing all these things and leading my whole squad into these, was a live fire and movement to contact, and we actually took 2nd place in the battalion, and that's why I was given this medal. A lot of the certificates of achievement, I got letters of appreciation, and if you read, maybe even that one from Brigadier Generals, we've done a lot of missions when I was over in California. I was stationed at the Presidio. We did them for Caspar, Weinberg, and Schultz when they were in office. I was one of the red carpet soldiers. I also presented the colors for the 49ers football games and Giants baseball games. And that's it. I call that my I Love Me book. Well, I went to Iraq. I was there for 5 months. I spent 18 months at the Presidio of San Francisco, California. I was an honor guard. And then from there I went to the Berlin Brigade. I served out the rest of my 18-month tour that I was there, and then I re-enlisted for another 3 years to stay in Germany. Again, it was our job. I had no problem with going into combat. I was trained. I knew my job. It's sad for any soldier to leave their family, but again, it was our job. That's what we enlisted for. And proud to do it. I was overseas in 1986 is when I went to Berlin. I got out of the military in 1991. While being overseas, I went to Italy, I went to England, all training. I went to Holland. I was also in the Berlin Brigade when the Berlin Wall came down. So I actually got to witness, the downfall of the wall and how the people came across, and it was quite the experience. When I got back, first thing I did, take a nice warm shower and eat a hamburger. I met up with my kids. It was great. took a little while for them to get to know me again. I was gone for so long that it was a warm welcome home. Any culture is different. From going to Germany to Italy to England, everybody celebrates different things. Where I was, I get the chance to experience weddings over in Germany, and customs, holidays. I mean, it's all different, but it's an experience. It's a lot of fun. Really well. It was kind of neat. A little strenuous, at first. I mean, because it's like a prison for them. Once the wall came down, it was like they're free, and they all just came flooding into Berlin. And trying to go to a store to buy anything was crazy because people were buying up everything. I got the opportunity to go over onto the east side before the wall came down and after. It was really like going back in time. Combat, I remember, February 14th, we kicked off on the ground war. Heading into Baghdad was where my unit was going. And I remember I got assigned to a Bradley battalion, which is a fighting vehicle. And I remember getting out of it and looking as far as the eye could see beyond the horizon of the desert. There was nothing but tanks, Bradleys, fuel trucks, ammo trucks, and then I looked the other way and I saw the same thing, and I was proud to be on our side. A lot of times you question whether or not things will actually go as smoothly as it does when you're training, but it's fun. It's comforting to see it all come into place when the time comes. And there was some call of fires that came in, and the A-10s came in and did their thing, and I thought between all the armed forces, it was just incredible to see how the military really works. I mean, when we kicked off on the ground war, I was in the back of the Bradley stop. I was the commander of the dismount troops, when we had to. And when you're so busy doing what you're trained to do, you forget all the other things.
You just do what you have to do.
Just do what you got to do and stay focused on your job. And really, I wasn't scared at all when I was over. Not at all. We made contact 3 times. And every time, we just did our job. At the end of one of the attacks, we ended up taking over the POWs. At the end of the night, like I said, we called in the A-10s. They did their thing, and what was left in the morning had given up. And we took control of all the POWs and corralled them in a location, and let the command behind us take over them while we continued on with the mission. And there are some sad points that a lot of people don't see that we see as soldiers. War is never a fun thing. You see a lot of civilians that lose their homes, stranded, no food, no electricity. And even as we were traveling through, there was a lot of folks, holding babies, just looking for milk. Those are some of the sad things you see. You hate to see any human being, regardless, suffering. Trust your training. Trust the people who are in charge of you. Keep your head down and do what you were trained to do.